Well, here we go. Let's give this a shot, shall we? Well, welcome everybody to the stream. Today we're going to be playing a game that was recommended to me by a friend. It's called the Turing Test. Apparently it's supposed to be puzzle solving and really interesting. But who knows? Maybe I might like it, maybe I might not. Sorry guys, just making sure that the stream was working. I recently downloaded this game. I started it just to make sure that it would run, but we're gonna start a new game. Start from the beginning. Here we go. Just enjoying some Dr. Pepper. Delicious. Not sponsored by the way. We're playing this in DirectX 12. It's Sorry about that, guys. You probably couldn't hear any of that. I had the stream volume turned off. Let me just restart for you guys so you guys can get that high class audio.
Morning, Eva. Your wake-up has been sanctioned by the ISA. We lost contact with the ground crew 450 hours ago. We have tried to establish further communications, but we are not getting any responses. We need you to investigate.
Okay, doesn't it make sense to do visual checks first?
We have already looked at the data. The ISA has made the executive decision that you report to the surface post-haste. You are our emergency response.
What exactly is the emergency?
The ground crew found an organism the ISA believed to be dangerous. We need to re-establish communication.
Well, so I'm supposed to re-establish communications. That's interesting. I will say the graphics is amazing. God, I love space. see here. Looks like I'm on board some kind of ship or station. Is there more people in there? More people? Oh. What? Why is there a user error? Pod malfunction? What? Why is everyone opening December 24th? It's like the day before Christmas. Ha, Cool Air 1000. Eh. Dude, I'm just so, ID 404 not found. Man, that's a shit ton of numbers. Crew lobby. Let's see here. Office. ISA 02, Captain Daniel McLean. I can't open it. Saddening.
Pick up your EMT. It's on the side.
Lots of books. Ah.
Okay. We are going to take a lander to Europa. Make your way to the docking station.
Docking station. Look at that suit. I'm sorry, I'm a fan of spacesuits. It's just very interesting and ornate. Look at all the little greebly bits. Ooh, manual. Energy manipulation tool. EMT. Let's see here. Is there any way to open the pages? No, there's not. There's no way to open the pages. I wish there was. That's saddening. So it looks like all the other suits except one is gone. And there's a helmet. Why is there no suit but there's the helmet? That makes no sense. Anyway. Armory. Upper deck B. Let's see. They have a Turing at isa.internal. Technical operations machines at isa.internal. Ship status. To Ava. The current ship status is following. Recommend addressing the power fluctuations before cryostasis. P out 90%. P peak. These are power, by the way. Power out is 90%. Power peak is 120%. Power noise is 0.5%. Wow. That's pretty cool. So, I guess we're the head engineer, is that what it is? I would guess. Ooh, what's on here? It's a laptop. It's just letting me look at things. It's a flashlight. So fascinating. Alright, let us move to the docking bay. Upper deck B to lower deck C. You know, these look like air conditioning units on the outside of your house. It's very interesting. Yeah, that has to have some kind of mechanical assist. There's no way you could lift a heavy door like that. That's cool how the ladder retracts up when you're done using it.
What's the ship's status?
I have performed the necessary checks. The Europa lander is ready to launch.
Sorry, I'm just giving you guys good looks around because these are
I think that's everything wound up, Tom.
Yes.
Well, I guess I'm ready to go down for the long sleep then.
Good night, Ava. I will miss your assistance. The ship will be very quiet without you here.
Night. See you when I wake up, Tom.
So I guess that's an audio log before she went into cryostasis?
Residuals before nulling, -02, -04, -01. X and Z null to 0. Looking good.
Okay, good. Horizon check right on time. How's things, Christopher?
Good. I am go for power descent.
I can confirm. You are go for power descent.
Roger that. I am running the PDI program. 80-degree delta pitch to 88 degrees absolute. Braking procedure. Engine 1 ignition. Engine burn.
Suppressing 400 alarm.
Balance.
The landers are ready.
Good. Thanks, Tom. You okay now, Sarah?
Yeah, I think so. Thank you, Daniel. I've done this before.
I'm sure you'll be fine.
It's just another 10 years of my life.
Interesting.
The landers are ready.
Trying to follow this story. You know, I wonder what this machine does. Most games never actually think of what the science of these machines would be. They just put them in here because they look cool. Space. Ah, I love space.
Bay 3.
Interesting. Storage unit B side. Unit storage side A. Huh. I know it's not very interesting for you to watch me frolic around inside this space station. So it looks like we're getting into, like, not a lander, but like a drop pod almost. Kind of like Halo. You know how you get in like the UNSC drop pod? Yeah, see? It looks exactly like a drop pod instead of a lander. Alright, here we go.
Retro?
Go.
Fido?
Go.
Guidance?
Go.
Control?
Go.
Telcon?
Go.
Then we are go for launch, initiating.
Zeppelin.
Engaging retrofire. I'm running the program, 80-degree delta pitch to 88 degrees absolute. Braking procedure. Trajectory looks good. 502 alarm. It looks like we're coming in too fast.
We are slightly short of the landing site. We are going to have to burn late. Go.
Full retrograde.
Alright. And boom, touchdown.
Open the door.
Welcome to Europa.
So I had to bring down the volume a little bit, but here we are. Europa. I'm pretty sure this is one of Jupiter's moons, because it was Jupiter up there. Snowy, icy planet. See, this is the drop pods I was talking about. They look kind of like the Halo drop pods. Less of a lander.
How long will my suit survive these conditions?
At 100 degrees Kelvin, a couple of hours. We should get inside.
Okay, well, I'm inside some sort of ISA base. I guess it's the International Space Agency, ISA? I don't know, I'm just guessing though. Oh, here we go. We're loading. You'd figure that those giant doors would have some kind of like button panel or control that you could use to shut them, but I guess not. And we hit a loading screen. This should be interesting. What are these? What the hell?
The base has changed.
What do you mean?
The base was originally constructed as modules to withstand the seismic activity in and around Thera Macula. It appears the ground team have manipulated these modules.
Interesting. So apparently they manipulated the base. I have no idea what these things are. See, I've come into this.
The base was built initially by machines. I served as the mind of these operations. I arrived first on Europa in 2240. It costs a lot to send humans into space with the necessary life support, especially such a vast distance from Earth. So, robotics built this place.
Okay. I can clearly see that. But it's cool that you're here. Yay. What's in here? Ah, more suit storage. Nice. Well, seeing as I have a suit, I don't need a suit. Yeah. Look at that. This is weird. See, I don't know what these things are supposed to do.
I wonder why the ground team has changed these rooms.
I have a hypothesis. These rooms are Turing tests.
Turing tests?
Turing tests are tests designed to tell humans and machines apart. Typically, problems only solvable by a human. A combination of logical and lateral thinking.
So, you can't complete these tests, Tom?
No. That is why I am glad you are here to help. We need to work together.
So, okay. So apparently, they have constructed this base to test humans and robots so they can tell them apart. Interesting.
They really have completely repurposed these rooms. I am quite impressed.
So, what were they used for before?
Most of them were used for storage, but they have converted them beyond recognition. Perhaps they ran out of things to do out here. The devil makes work for idle hands.
And I just missed some kind of secret back there. It's okay. I guess I'll just have to play it again, won't I? Huh. Ah.
Do you know the ground team's location?
The crew are deeper inside the base, it seems.
They must be trying to survive. Can you find their precise location?
I'm afraid not. I am working to regain control. Though I once had complete control of this base, a lot has changed in the past 500 hours.
Huh. So that's where I came from. Is that too far? Huh. It is. It is too far. So... See, now that door is shut, and I can't. Huh. My friend was right. This is a very interesting and intriguing game. But I can't steal from that one, and I don't know why. Huh. Ah, you can't steal with this one because it's caged. Alright, okay. Oh, I know how to do this. So I can steal from that one because it's not caged. There we go. And now I can steal from that one and put it over here. Haha.
So if this base is managed by you, why can't you find the crew?
The base's communication array is malfunctioning.
Interesting.
Perhaps we can't solve this yet.
Yeah, I would figure because you'd probably need more spheres. What's that supposed to do? Ah, it's magnetic. Ah, here we go.
This doesn't add up.
What does not add up?
If there was an accident, surely they'd come to find me, not try to lock me out.
My instance is still resolving conflicts. I expect they have their reasons.
Ah, okay.
My instance has just been updated.
Sorry?
I have two instances of my mind, two separate versions. A slave mind running on the satellite, and a master running here on the surface. When the communication was cut between the surface base and the satellite, the two instances of my mind were separated.
Okay.
So, during all this time, all of my knowledge divided into two separate branches. I continue to learn on the satellite, and I continue to learn on the surface.
All right.
I'm trying to merge the knowledge to create a timeline of what's happened here. But there are incongruities between these memories, conflicts.
Okay. That's it? Oh, okay. God, I'm terrible at aiming. Mostly just interested in the story and like all these machines. I'm a big fan of machines. Okay. Wow, this one? Planetarium. Oh, gorgeous.
This is the command center. You can check on the crew status from here.
Ashiyama Industries. Europa loading bay. That's where we just came from. Lander. Loading bay status compromised. Transfer materials unknown. Crew transfer unknown. Signal interrupted. Europa's ground base was built using thousands of tons of resources shipped through Europa through an interplanetary network. Okay. Europa base modules. Crew 4. Status damage. Repair disabled. Pressure 101,300 pascals to 82,403 pascals. Oxygen 21%, nitrogen 78%, argon 0.9%, CO2 0.06%. Europa's base was built beneath Europa's surface. Buried in Thera Macule's ice, its modular nature allows it to be reconstructed according to the mission's needs at any time. Okay. Drilling platforms. Status operational. Cool. Extracted materials. 112,452 kilograms. Europa's drilling platform is the largest outside of Earth. At 40 meters high, it's one of the tallest machines on any moon. The drill has bored to a depth of over 4 kilometers and recovered over 1 million kilograms of material from the deep underneath the surface. This level of extraction is made possible by utilizing Oshima's electrical fusion reactor. That's pretty cool. It's a drill that uses a fusion reactor. I'm back to the loading bay. Cool. Reactor reserves: deuterium, tritium, lithium. Okay. Temperature 15%. Heat discharge. Is that dispensers? Heat dispensers 99.4%. Coolant cells 98%. Nice. It's updated per hour. That should not be the case. It should be updated every 10 minutes. Environment, oxygen, nitrogen, argon, CO2. Okay, cool. Consumables. Frozen meals, vegetarian. Oh my god, there's lots of food. That's lots of food. Ava Turing. Birthplace, Regensburg, Germany. Nationality, American. Date of birth, 22/11, April 26th. Role, she was an engineer. Current objective, investigate communications crisis. Outstanding tasks, contact ISA, contact ground team, and review Fortuna's diagnostics. Dr. Soichi Yuen. Birthplace, Tokyo, Japan. Nationality, Japanese. 2200, February 24th. He was an exobiologist. That's pretty cool. Synthesis DNA duplicates of sample 937. Outstanding task, investigate sample 937, classify whole life recovered, sequence samples 1387 by 1500. Mikhail Tokarev, MD. Cool. Kloshino, Russia. Nationality Russian. 22 December 19th. Role doctor. Current objective: terminated. Outstanding task: keep calm. Strange. Chris McLean, Lindbergh, Canada. Canadian. 2204, September 9th. Role engineer. Objective terminated. Outstanding task terminated. I hope that doesn't mean that they were terminated. Captain Daniel McLean, birthplace Lindbergh, Canada, nationality Canadian, 2204, September 9th. Captain. Current objectives classified. Outstanding task classified. Wow. Being classified, that's interesting. Now let me turn down the music for you guys. Let's bring it down to about. Yeah. Let's try that. Don't tell me it didn't apply. It didn't. Gotta hit apply. There we go. Signal loss, signal loss, signal loss, signal loss. I wonder why. It's a radio communications device. Here's a wireless headset. There's a blueprints, manual power box. It's a coffee cup. I could really go for some coffee right now. Here we go. Just a stack of paper. Is this this looks like a danger tag. Clipboard. Nothing on the clipboard. Let's see. Sticky notes. nothing. I don't see anything. And this is a digital audio broadcasting. This looks like a boombox, or just like a radio, like a space radio. Which I guess is pretty cool. Alright. Got rid of that. Oh. Interesting. Dr. Sarah Brooke, birthplace Damascus, Syria, nationality joint British and Syrian. Date of birth 2210, March 15th. Role exobiologist. Current objective classify organism. Outstanding task classify all life recovered sequence samples 1043 through 1387. Dr. Sarah Brooke. Sarah Brooke's parents were both scientists. In her teenage years, she was sent to an English public boarding school. Brooke is one of the most eminent exobiologists of the 23rd century for her formative work on the Mars Discovery Project. She was specifically requested to be part of the Europa ground team. Though only 28 years old, Sarah has touched the surface of 2 planetoids and spent more time on alien soil than any other member of mankind. Except the Mars team. I love how they put at the very end, except the Mars team. It's funny. Let's go to... we'll save Ava Turing for last. Let's do Chris McLean. Chris McLean is identical triplets. Wow. Wow. So he must... I figured that they were brothers, but... who knows? Chris McLean is an identical triplet. His father is an electrician, and his mother was a mechanical engineer. Following in his mother's footsteps, Chris trained as an engineer. The McLean triplets became famous as Chris and Dan took to space, leaving their brother Peter behind. Although an accomplished engineer, his place on the mission was also partly due to ISA being interested in the long-term effects of space travel. Test results will be compared to those of Peter, his brother. So Peter and Chris are part of a science experiment. Excellent. That's always what you want to do with triplets. Give them a science experiment. Gal Tokarev's father died of cancer at a young age. Well, that sucks. That sucks. This motivated him to become a doctor in hopes of helping others. Tokarev worked as a medical doctor in Russia for 3 years before working for the United Nations as a doctor in crisis. His role on the Europa mission as chief medical officer. So he's the chief medical officer on board. Dr. Shoichi Yuin. I think that's Yui? Yui? I don't know how you pronounce that. Sochi Yui had no childhood interest in space travel. Instead, he spent his youth studying the life in Lake Iowa, near his hometown. Yui went to study marine biology and chemistry at Kyoto University. After the tragic death of his wife, Reen, he disappeared into his work, re-emerging 11 years later as a preeminent exobiologist. Cool. And last but not least, Ava Turing. Losing her parents at a young age, Ava Turing was sent to a military engineering school. Shortly after graduating, she enlisted in the U.S. Navy and trained as a pilot. Due to her exemplary service record and willingness to leave Earth for extended periods of time, Turing was recruited by the ISA on the exploratory mission to Jupiter's Europa. Turing's role aboard Fortuna is engineer and vehicle officer. Cool. And I still can't get that screen back up. So, moving on. Just look at this. I just wish we could all have, like, planetariums in our house. That'd be cool. Dang, look at how big that thing is. That's the station that we were on. God dang, that thing is huge. Like, I wonder if these are, like, actually, like, size representative. I hope they are. Because if they are, that would be ridiculous to be that fucking big. I don't think it is, though. I think it's totally... I think they're totally scaled down from size just to fit inside the planetarium. Alright. I don't see anything else in here. Jupiter. Heliocentric orbit, distance to the Sun, 778,524,000 kilometers. Orbital inclination, 3.1 degrees. Current orbital velocity, 47,002 kilometers. BVH. I can't remember what that stands for right now, but I'll come back to it. Eccentricity, 0.04838624. Equilateral distance, 69,911 kilometers. Escape velocity. That's really fast. 216,720 kilometers per hour. That's something else. Jupiter is the second largest physical body in our solar system. It has the largest gravitational impact, which stretches and squashes Europa. This creates geothermal energy inside Europa, a source of great heat. This has created a subsurface ocean, which is why the top is all ice and the bottom is a nice ocean. Well, and another loading screen. Woo! Ooh, I got an achievement. Cool. Chapter 1. Sector B11.
What condition should I expect to find the ground crew in?
Daniel went missing days ago. Chris is presumed dead. We are expecting to find Sarah, Mikhail, and Sochi in a stable condition.
Chris is dead?
He was involved
Sochi.
in an accident.
Sochi is how you pronounce it, apparently. The robot just told me. I seriously wonder what those things are. Okay, hold up. Let me go in here. What I gotta find in here? So I've got doors. I've got this double door, which I need to open. Alright, and then I can, yoink. Yoink. And then... And then I can just, yoink.
Could we take a more direct way to the ground team?
Unfortunately, there is not a direct route. The base is buried under ice to protect it from the radiation of space.
Similar to the Mars base.
Similar. Europa's base is slightly deeper into the surface. There is more radiation present from solar events on Mars. But Mars's surface is denser than that of Europa.
Move to the center, and then I can use the... There. Ah, this again. How about the box just tumbles?
Okay, what are their chances of survival here? Oxygen, the food stores, waste management.
Everything seems to be in order. The was a small problem with the crew store, but the crew fixed that up. We successfully transitioned over to a sustainable, small, artificial ecosystem a year ago, growing fruit and vegetables. It helps boost morale, amongst other things. The crew members could hypothetically survive here for their whole lifetimes.
I feel like this is here for something. Unless, you know, I just figured out the puzzle in like 3 seconds and they're just doing this to make me paranoid. Okay, so that powers the bridge. Uh-huh. So apparently they're like growing their own food and stuff now. Alright, so obviously I'm gonna need this at some point or another. That's pretty obvious. Ah. So this needs power, which is what this is for. Where do I need to shoot the power?
My purpose as the overseer of this mission is to work for the ISA. I am the ISA's feet and hands. The distance between Jupiter and Earth make it inappropriate for the ISA to directly interface with the mission directives. As my AI core is stationed on Europa, I can make decisions instantaneously about the running of the base.
I might need these. Hey, I was right.
How does the ISA know you're gonna make the right decisions here when they can't communicate with us?
Interestingly, I have a twin on Earth. His name is Michael. The ISA uses my twin to check firmware updates before they upload them to myself. There is a simulation of this mission on Earth, running at all times to check my expert systems. Naturally, as any modern artificial intelligence running on a quantum computer, I do also have a large amount of evolutionary algorithms at my disposal. However, they were deemed as too unreliable for general use in the mission.
Why is that?
Biological systems produce biological results. Messy, unpredictable solutions. Not suitable for such a mission.
So what I need is I need a third. Interesting. Yeah, switch over here. What is on the other side here? This is the ladder. This is the staircase. I need a third. This is what I need, because I need to put that ball there so that I can get out of the room, but then I can get out after. Let's see. Get you. Alright. So I'm not talking much, guys. I'm just solving these puzzles. Because now I have these glow spheres. And I can grab that one. And then I can go boom. And ba-boom! Ah, that's what those are. They destroy the things before I can escape with them. So I can't use them on the next area. Oh, okay, makes sense. What is this? Ah, it's a motion sensor. So as long as I inch very slowly forward, I can make it across. See, this isn't necessarily a puzzle. This is just very tedious. Because you gotta sit here and you just gotta barely tap the forward button so that that motion sensor doesn't shut the bridge off. Get to the end. Let's look like this. I swear to God, if I fail now, I'm gonna be mad. Alright, don't get greedy. All I gotta do is not get greedy. Ah, I made it. What is in here? Shall we have a polite conversation? Sure. Oh. I think you're a robot. Okay, I think you're a robot. Why would that be? I'm simply not convinced you are a human. I think you might be a robot. Why? Yes, definitely a robot. But why? No. What has convinced you? Oh, sorry. What has convinced you that I am a robot? You have failed the Turing Test. You're a robot. Ow. I'm hitting the backspace and it's doing nothing. It's typing. So apparently it's now controlling the thing. Okay. And now I'm trying to press escape and it's like, I want to escape. I so desperately want to escape. Help, I can't escape. I want to break free. Please let me out. Get me out. I am a machine. Oh, wow, okay. That is strange. And now it won't let me access it again. I don't like this. How have I failed the Turing test? I gotta leave the thing behind it. It won't let me.
Did the ISA build you, Tom?
As the child of the ISA, I had been given authority aboard this station. I was designed by the ISA and the Ashiyama Corporation, designed in California, assembled in China. But here on Europa, I constructed myself. Have you heard of the Turing Test, Ava? It's a test to see if a computer can successfully impersonate a human. In the original Turing Test, a human judge has two conversations, one with a machine and one with another human. They then judge which of these polite conversations is with a machine and which is with a human. The machine being tested is said to have passed the Turing test if the judge cannot reliably tell which conversation is with a machine and which is with a human.
Do you think you'd pass the Turing test?
I am quite capable of polite conversation, wouldn't you say?
interesting. So what it's trying to tell me is, am I a robot? Or are they actually here to test the guy? See, this is what makes me paranoid. When game developers start to do stuff like this. Oh, dang. I thought I saw something back there.
The Turing test has been criticized. Researchers claim it does not correctly test a machine's ability to think, but rather its ability to deceive.
What do you mean?
Well, have you heard of the Chinese room thought experiment?
No.
Imagine you are in a room. In this room, you are passed Chinese sentences through a slot in the wall. Inside the room is an instruction book written in English. This instruction book tells you which Chinese words to pass back through the slot in the wall as a response. By doing so, you have a conversation in Chinese. In the Chinese room, because the responses you pass back through the door are the correct responses, the person on the other side of the door is convinced you are a native Chinese speaker.
Well, they're wrong.
Perhaps they are not wrong. Because with the instruction book, you are having a conversation.
But the person stuck in the Chinese room is not aware of the conversation's content.
This is the problem with the Turing test. A computer can pass the Turing test, having convinced a human they are having a polite conversation, while the computer has no idea that a conversation has taken place.
What if both of the people passing Chinese words are reading from instruction books?
I may be a machine, but I personally do not believe I am stuck inside the Chinese room.
Right, you would say that. I could peer inside your databases at any time, Tom. Or pause your operation.
Do not assume I could not do the same to you.
Huh. Oh, this is making me paranoid as hell. This is the staircase.
This is the crew's quarters. It looks abandoned.
Captain Daniel McLean. Let's see. WC, what's over here? Notice. I do not see the need for so many cameras. Tom's presence everywhere is slightly oppressive. I understand the need for transparency, but why is he in the toilets? Interesting. And... Huh. Never makes sense for that. Don't touch. This is the 5th time. Wow. Here's to somebody who's mad. Dr. Sarah Brooke. Chris McLean. There we go. That's a pencil. Drill malfunctions, expect delays, drilling resumes. What? It resumed on the same day 2 months later. See attachment for transport. Long weeks, forgot to take date. Jackpot. Damage to external hull. On hold for inspection. Necessary repairs made. On a roll here. Routine inspection. Huh. I'm guessing that's Chris and Daniel. Christopher McLean. Dude, this is a cool flask. Ah, nice hockey puck. He's Canadian after all. But that's kind of a stereotype though. Rylazol. For what? Ah, here we go. Rylazol usage, 1 capsule per 12 hours early. See accompanying prescription information. Protect from excessive light. Ah, that's light medication. I guess he added a... Is there a video? There's the 3 brothers. Nothing. Okay, wow. Coffee cup. I love coffee cups. Sorry, I collect them, so. And why is her room so much neater? It's like she didn't touch anything. Oh my god. You can tell a lot about a person by where they live. He was comfortable with the way he lived. He kind of just had stuff all thrown about and whatnot. But if you look at her room, everything is methodically placed. It's all spaced out very specifically, very methodically. Hold on, I'll read that in a second. Like, it's all... Like, I feel like she has OCD in some way. Telomeres. She's also religious. Look at how everything's so neatly placed. It's all very neat. They were all taking Rylazol. Interesting. These different. Cookbook. These are all cookbooks. What? Ah, that's interesting. See, everything's methodically placed. It's kind of neat. It's her bed's all folded. This is some astronomical equipment. Alright, let's read this. Dear Tom, knowing that you're always watching, I thought I'd write you a letter. As you no longer reside in my mind, I've decided to transfer my thoughts to text. I want to do so in the form of a history lesson. A lesson that perhaps you'll find condescending, but it's likely more for my sake than yours. Alan Turing is considered the father of theoretical computer science and artificial intelligence. Perhaps a lesser-known part of his life was his contributions to the field of biology. Why do you suppose his interests lay in these two disparate fields? I assume it was because he believed the world to be illogical and understandable. He was a mathematician. He seemed to believe that great complexity of the universe could be explained in a simple rule. 2 years before his suicide in 1952, Alan Turing developed something called reaction diffusion systems. Inside an academic world of his work is cited more than inside the academic world, this work is cited more than his work on computers. It can be generally formalized as one-line equation. I think this is cool. I think she was able to write that equation. I am no mathematician, however, in plain English, this equation describes things that wish to diffuse, however, also react with each other during this process. I'm sure this sounds strange to you, or at very least a tangential to our lives here on Europa. What relevance does it have to anything here? Reaction diffusion systems show how patterns are created. They show how the leopard got its spots, how the zebra got its stripes. But my real interest here is Turing's interest. That nature can be formalized. That we can understand the natural world in mathematical terms. Turing created the test to answer the question, can a machine impersonate a human? The intrigue behind that being, can a human mind be simulated by a machine? Why ask that question? To prove that human mind is a machine. I am not sure that it is Turing's opinion, however, concerning consciousness, and he states this. Hold on. According to the most extreme form of this view, the only way by which one could be sure that a machine thinks is to be the machine and to feel oneself thinking. One could then describe these feelings to the world, but of course no one would be justified in taking any notice. Likewise, according to this view, the only way to know that a man thinks is to be that particular man. If the human mind exists within the physical world, it obeys the same rules of physics and chemistry as every other thing in the world. Therefore, like all of nature, it is merely reactive. It is curious that the nature would create, through the mechanics of determination, creatures that believe that they have free will. Conversely, I suppose, if we conclude that we are all machines, we only came to this conclusion in a predetermined manner. We cannot claim credit for our discovery, as it is just the product of our nature's genius, not our own. A humbling idea, I think. Behaviorism. Maybe we are more simple than we think. Sarah. That's a very intense letter. Oh, doggy. I have no idea what kind of flower that is. Somebody could probably tell me. Shovel. That's not actually a shovel. If you know what this is, comment down below. Alright, let's get to the rest of the crew quarters, and then I think I will call it here for now. That is very bad Photoshop. Let me just tell you. That is very bad Photoshop. Aw, it's his wedding ring. Is that the Star Trek logo? Anyone else? Anyone else? Ah, Rubik's Cube. Good old Rubik's Cube. Bonsai tree. That's also very bad Photoshop. Dude, no need to show off. You don't need 2 Rubik's Cubes. One is fine. What kind of watch is this? I feel like this is supposed to be like a Rolex, but it's not branded. And it's still working. Ah. Lovely. There's a violin. I think that's a violin. Violin has 4 strings. The viola is the one that has the weird 5th string down here. Correct me if I'm wrong. Portfolio book. Nice. More Rosol capsules. Oh, motion sickness. He suffered from motion sickness. Ah, that's a cool picture. The moon with the earth off in the distance. That's lovely. Alright, let's read this. Findings. So what is it you found then, Switchy? Chris. We found an extremophile? I.e. an organism that can live in extreme conditions. That survives massive doses of radiation. Radiation damages DNA. The extremophile has a virus living inside it. The extremophile scavenges DNA from other organisms, which the virus uses to repair the extremophile's damaged DNA. Essentially, they work together to survive in what is called a symbiotic relationship. Dude, that is cool. Imagine if you, as a human, could take that virus, whatever, insert it into yourself, and then you could go into somewhere like Chernobyl, which has like lots of, radiation, and that virus would repair your DNA. That'd be kind of cool. So what's the implication? What does it do? In some ways, it is an immortal relationship. It doesn't seem to age biologically. Aging and death are ultimately caused by DNA damage. We have the ability to fix our DNA, but that ability is limited. This organism can repair damages caused by massive doses of radiation. If we could harness the power, we could potentially eliminate biological aging, what is known as senescence. So you found something that could make humans immortal. Not exactly! There are many causes of death other than DNA damage. It would not save you from trauma, from brain damage, from cardiac arrest, etc. But it could potentially cure cancers and many genetic diseases and massively increase life expectancy. Wow. So everything I was just saying. It's insane. Oh, lots more stuff. Hi, Matthew. We've been studying organism 119. Please find attached scanning electron microscope image, which appears to show pilous formations. We hypothesize that this is a stress response due to high levels of radiation. We plan to infect a human cell line with organisms 119 and perform irradiation experiments with flow symmetry or how do you say cytometry? This would be appropriate. It would be great if you could get the department to look at the SEM image, scan electron microscope image. Kind regards, Switch. Image. That is an insane image. Alright, Soichi, it was great to see this image. Wow. Yet more complex life on Europa. Dinocacus Radiodurnus. Might be worth looking at it. Might be looking at as it survives very high levels of radiation here on Earth. Similarly, you should consider looking at Ciliophotophus Acardiodares. I don't know if you... somebody's going to correct me how you say these. Procedures. Philly, in response to radiation, uses them to transfer DNA. Perhaps your organism uses a similar mechanism. Have you considered that organism 119 is transferring or scavenging DNA as it methods to survive radiation? As method of surviving radiation. As well, you know, in terms of radiation, Europa receives 5.4 sieverts per day, over 300,000 times the level on Earth. Yeah. 5.4 sieverts is a lot. The organism must have evolved such high resistance to radiation as its necessity of survival. That said, the radiation beneath Thera Malculier is much lower due to thick ice crusts. Radiation experiments with flow cytometry sounds like an appropriate course of action. Matthew Lake, professor of astrobiology, International Space Agency. Ah, it is the International Space Agency. Haha, yes, I was right. Hi, Matthew. We have attached an image confirming that organism 119 attached to the human cells. We will proceed with irradiation experiments on these cell lines. We propose naming organism 119 Europa radiophilus. What do you think, Suji? Ah, so you can see the human cells with it grafted on the side. That's pretty cool. Hi, Matthew. We have now run the irradiation experiments and can confirm that E. radiophilus does indeed seem to confer resistance to radiation. See attached. We assume survival is due to DNA damage repair. We tagged various DNA repair enzymes with a GFP and have found that DNA double strands break repair is occurring. See attached GFP image. Dude, that's dope as fuck. Hi, Soichi. Something's amiss. We don't know what is performing the repair. The lab doesn't know how E. radiophilus, good name, could repair DNA. Have you considered that another organism may be in a symbiotic relationship with E. radiophilus, perhaps a virus? Matthew. We ran a PCR on the human cells exposed to E. radiophilus to see if there was a virus present. We have discovered an unknown virus, which we have named Unknown Europa Virus, UEV. That kind of sounds like FEV. UAV gel electrophoresis image attached. Electrophoresis Soichi. This is phenomenal. You need to sequence this, Matthew. We have finished sequencing it. Data attached. It is a virus unlike any we have ever seen. Maybe we have found a cure for sentience, a form of biological immortality. We are running some long-term tests on the planet and mice to see the effects, Soichi. The plants are clearly exhibiting longer lifespans than when exposed to the organism. We don't have the facilities here to continue testing. We are going to human testing. We are going to use ourselves as subjects. It is the only way to accelerate process. Oh boy. Now we're kind of getting into the point where we're kind of figuring out what has happened to everyone. This looks like a used syringe. The medical kit is open. Why is it open? He was a doctor, but yeah, everything's like strewn about, like. Look at this, it was squirted out like it was used. What is this stuff? See more of it. It's more of it squirted out like it's been used. What's going on here? It has a label on it, but it keeps the graphics keep cutting out, so I can't read what it says. It's morphine. Why were they injecting themselves with morphine? What? I think it's paint. I think this is just paint. More Riluzole. Ah, a log. March 6th, 2249. The whole team experienced nausea during a large electrical surge in Europa's atmosphere. I am concerned. This was not an instance of mass hysteria. Vital signs were affected. It caused a uniform surge in heart rate that was detected in all members of the crew. I am reporting to ISA. March 7th, 2249. I reported the nauseous incident to the ISA. They offered an explanation of electrical disturbance to our central nervous system. That is ludicrous. An electrical surge large enough to affect our nervous system would have done more than make the team feel ill. I'm going to experiment with some shock therapy. March 8th, 2249. I have discovered that electrical fields disturb our telemetry implants in a way that I did not expect. I have contacted the ISA. Strangely, Tom was not comfortable with my attempts to disturb the implant. March 9th, 2249. The ISA have reported back informing me that I'm not to disturb the implant. They have also encouraged me to not discuss this further with the team. That's Russian, I can't. It's probably something along the lines of some kind of angry slur. I'm continuing to investigate. March 11, 2249. I have been running some experiments outside of Tom's view. I can tell he knows this. He has been acting differently around me, like an offended child. I feel increasingly nauseous. These implants seem to have neural connectivity. Out-of-body experiences are more frequent now. March 16, 2249. I've established a definite correlation. Against my knowledge, I have been implanted with a device that affects my mind. I use my opportunities in regular health checkups to investigate the crew. We all have them. Every single one of us is implanted with some kind of mind-altering contraption. Tom has been encouraging the team to worry about my mental health. He requested that I retire away from the crew. Misinformation. Another slur. That's what I guess. Might not be. March 26, 2249. I cannot will myself to investigate this further. I grow tired quickly. I cannot think straight. I am not sure if the implant is affecting my thoughts anymore. I believe it is trying to subdue my mind. I think I am going to attempt an excursion. I'm going to remove this implant. Exposition. I am typing with my left hand. The exposition went wrong. I have successfully removed the implant. Unfortunately, I lost my hand in the operation. Tom is very angry. The crew refuses to talk to me. Apparently, I am a bad influence. Sarah patched me up. April 5th, 2249. I wonder if the nature of the organism and its disturbance of my DNA caused my awakening from Tom's influence. If so, that would make for a worrisome revelation. Perhaps this organism is not so friendly. April 6, 2249. Dan informed me ISA have called for my termination. My misocastic experiment proves I am a danger to the mission. Fortunately, he chose not to lock me in the brig. I'm going to investigate this implant further. I have to hide my work. The team are becoming increasingly aggressive. They seem to oppose my work understand the implant. It does not help that Tom is encouraging them to distrust me. April 7, 2249. I have discovered the nature of the implant. It is a complex computer. It interfaces with the human mind directly. It seems to condition the mind through Pavlovian and instrumental conditioning, eliciting feelings of euphoria when the wearer is obedient and dysphoria when they are disobedient. It also has the effects of suppressing impulses in the frontal lobe, presumably to lower free will. It seems to interface crudely with the motor neuron cells, though the cerebellum. It is my hypothesis that the crew is controlled by this implant. That is their strong aversion to helping me. I need a method of surpassing its impact, perhaps a drug. Riluzole, maybe an antidepressant to minimize the conditioning effects. Combined with strong electromagnetic field, I could use one of the industrial electromagnets from the construction robots. April 8, 2249. I have managed to get Chris on my side. He has agreed to test some medical procedures with me in a private. It will be more difficult one-handed, but I must persevere. I am hoping to keep this out of the eyes of Tom, though I have a feeling he will still be listening. Interesting. A bunch of distrust going on. So that's why everyone's taking Raoul's ult. Carry W. Guy loves painting. That is a very good that is a very good portrait though. I will say that. Alright. Could go the other way. Oh, another loading screen. Chapter 2. Well, guys, I think that is where we are going to end the stream for now. I think that's where we're going to end the stream for now, guys. As always, I appreciate all of you watching. And can't wait to see you next time. So long. So long.